Hey, what's up? It's Privacy J here. It's time for another season 2 of the Sundays live stream. So it's been a while since I haven't done doing this Sundays live stream for since 2 weeks for now. So this will be a quick stream. So I'm gonna go over one topic for today. So I'm talking Apple's 2026 low cost A18 Pro MacBook. What we know so far. Apple is planning to release a low-cost MacBook in 2026, which will apparently compete with more affordable Chromebooks and Windows PC. Apple's most affordable Mac right now is the 999 MacBook Air, and the upcoming low-cost MacBook Air. I'm sorry, low-cost MacBook is expected to be cheaper. Here's what we know about the low-cost MacBook so far. Size. Rumors suggest the low-cost MacBook will have a display that's around 13 inches in size. The MacBook Air has a 13.6-inch display, so the more affordable MacBook will likely be slightly smaller. It's sounding like it won't be so too far off from the 13-inch MacBook Air though. There are no details on how thick it might be, but Apple probably won't prioritize a thin design for a machine optimized for a low price.
I gotta get my coat.
Okay, sorry about that. What's that? Okay, so but Apple probably won't prioritize a thin design for a machine optimized for a lower price, even though some humans are hoping that it will also be ultra thin. Ultra thin usually means more engineering work and higher cost convenience for the display and other parts, but it can also sometimes be achieved by removing features. A thinner enclosure isn't entirely out of the question if Apple cuts features to reduce cost, but at the same time, reducing size leads to lower battery life, and Apple probably wants to have a decent battery to compete with or outmatch cheap Windows laptop Windows laptops. Since the MacBook Air can run fine with an M series chip and no fan in enclosure that's 44.44 inches thick, there's no real reason for the MacBook to be any thicker than that, unless Apple wants to add about a bigger battery, design, and display. The low-cost MacBook will have a standard LCD display with no mini LED technology or ProMotion refresh rate. It won't be able to compete with higher-end laptops in terms of brightness or HDR support. It's probably best to think of it like the low-cost iPad, which offer excellent performance but uses much older display technology. Apple could make the low-cost MacBook in bright colors like the iMac to appeal to children and to clearly position it as a low-cost device. There are no rumors of this, but it would also make some sense for Apple to return to the plastic casing of some of its original MacBook models. Rumors suggest the low-cost MacBook Pro could come in colors like silver, blue, pink, and yellow. A series chip. Apple is planning to use its A18 Pro chip in the MacBook, which is a chip that was first used in the iPhone 16 Pro. The A18 Pro is built on Apple's second generation 3 nanometer process featuring 8 GB RAM and support for Apple Intelligence. It's fast and efficient and more than capable of handling day-to-day tasks. In Geekbench 6 benchmarks, the A18 Pro offers single-core CPU performance scores at the level of the M3 Ultra and multi-core performance scores higher than the M1 chip that Apple used in the first Apple Silicon MacBook Air. Metal scores that measure GPU performance are also similar to the M1 chip metal scores. The A18 Pro will be equivalent to the M1 for some tasks and faster for other tasks. Apple no longer sells the M1 MacBook Air from its own store, but it has offered the machine through Walmart at $599 price point. Capabilities. With the A18 Pro chip, the low-cost MacBook will be able to do anything that can be done on an iPhone 16 Pro. It would be a suitable replacement for the low-cost iPad paired with a keyboard, and it would also support Apple Intelligence features. As of now, an iPad is essentially the only option for a low-cost portable device that can serve as a computer, but the low-cost MacBook will add a solution that runs the Mac OS instead of the iPad OS. Tasks like browsing the web, watching videos, creating documents, editing photos, and even light video editing would be no problem. A low-cost MacBook with A18 Pro chip could play all of Apple's iPad and iPhone games, including Apple Arcade titles. But it would not work well with high-end system-intensive games. It will also likely run apps like Final Cut Pro, but speeds for things like exporting video would not be as quick as with a more powerful Mac. Apple probably won't go all out on ports, and the MacBook is likely to get just a single USB-C port. Through to like the MacBook Air is also possible. The 18 Pro chip is efficient, and there's a lot of space inside a 13-inch enclosure for a battery. So we could be looking at MacBook Air level MacBook Air level battery life, or better, the MacBook Air's battery lasts for up to 18 hours when watching videos or 15 hours when browsing the web. Price: there are no specific details on price as of yet, but Bloomberg claims it will cost under $1,000. The MacBook Air is priced starting at $999. So the MacBook will need to be price lower than that. Apple has a 13-inch iPad Air that has a display in the same range rumored for the low-cost MacBook, and it priced at $799. The iPad Air has a higher-end M series processor though. So the low-cost MacBook could be priced below the iPad Air. The closest iPad X approximation for the chip is the iPad Mini, which has an A17 Pro and is priced at $499. A price somewhere between $499 and $799 could make sense looking at Apple's existing product lineup. Launch timing: Apple is expected to launch the low-cost MacBook in the first half of 2026. Updates are planned for the MacBook Air in early 2026, and the low-cost model could launch sometime in that same time frame. If you're thinking about picking up a computer for lightweight tasks like document editing, web browsing, watching videos, and doing homework, you might want to wait to see what Apple has in store before buying a MacBook Air, an iPad, or a more affordable Windows machine or a Chromebook. All right, so anyways, that will be it for the quick stream for today about the low-cost MacBook rumors. So I'll let you guys know when for next Sunday, so keep in mind for that. So let's find it out. So like and comment, subscribe, and let me know about it. So if you're gonna subscribe to my 3 channels, Privacy J Productions 1, 2, and 3, and to my content, all of my social medias will let you know all about it. Facebook, my name is Jaden Garcia. Instagram is JTech727, Snapchat Scoots0727, and follow me on X, Privacy J NYC1, and follow me on TikTok, Privacy J Official, same name on Instagram. So thanks for watching and peace out.